Hey everyone, welcome to the Hobbystreaker episodes 25. Close to a year. So close. Technically I think it's in somewhere in June 23rd or something like that. I think it was our 1 year. Anyways, today, as usual, my co-host, Liam.
Hello!
Today, Liam on 1,671 days.
1,671.
Yep. I am currently on 503. Yay! Past the 500. Half a century, half a millennium. 500 days. Cool. What are we talking about? Well, we're talking about Hobby Streak, which is doing 30 minutes of hobby every single day for the longest streak possible. So yeah, Liam on more than 4 years.
Yeah.
And I am about a year and a half in, something like that. So yeah. Having fun. And I am getting attacked by a moth. I don't know where they come from. Somehow they get into my garage. Giant moth. Anyway. So my household got COVID yet again. For fuck's sake. Yeah. So, except this time we all got sick, like proper sick. So that sucked. Doing better. Still, lungs still hurt a bit, but yeah. Not fun. What about you? What's up?
I've got the week off.
Ooh.
So I am currently speed painting my way through these 10 Liberators, and that there, just out of camera, I think, Night Vexillor, for a narrative event I'm going to at the weekend.
Cool.
So that's going to be fun.
Yeah, I bet. Oh, I like this guy.
We've started getting all like the event packs and the player packs through.
Uh-huh.
So
pretty nice.
There's
Pretty nice.
shenanigans going on because it's a narrative event and not a match play event. So
what are you? Well, so then what are you painting then? You're just like
I'm filling
today?
out.
What are you gonna try to paint today? Are you gonna try to just do it the whole?
Filling
like,
out
be done,
the filling out 2 more units of Stormcast Liberators.
Okay.
Because I got 2 units of 5 through the magazine, but they didn't have any of the special weapon options.
Okay.
So I bought another box and building up the special weapon. Well, got the special weapon options. So I've got 2 with swords, 2-handed swords, 2 with 2-handed hammers, because I didn't have enough 2-handed hammers to fill that out. So they've got swords now.
Nice.
And I was packing my army this afternoon, and I was like, shit, I've got the wrong Night Vexillor painted up.
Well,
I have had a spare primed in my box of stuff.
So what do you mean you had the wrong one?
So there's
Is it what you see is what you get, or
there's 2 choices for the flag at the top. There's a big one, and there's the flag.
Okay.
And because it's a narrative event, I want to make sure that I'm taking like the right stuff. Rather than going, it's a Night Vexillor, it's got this.
Yeah,
one.
you want to have more something like what you see is what you get, kind of thing, and not just, hey, this is the guy. Yeah, I know he doesn't have the proper weapons and stuff, but don't worry, don't forget about it, kind of thing. Okay, cool. All right, well, that's cool.
So yeah, I've got him from primed to basically almost done today so far. So
nice. Well, that was fast. Cool. Cool.
It helps when you've already painted one and you've got one, and you can just get him out of the box and go, right, this is where all the colours go.
Yeah.
Paintbrush go, brr.
Alright, well...
And yourself?
Well, so I have 10 bandits. I am not gonna...
Banditos.
I'm not gonna paint 10 bandits today. There is no chance of that. I'm actually gonna get rid of this. Yeah, no, there 2. If I can get 2, I'll be pretty happy. If I can at least manage to get 2 painted. No, I am trying to find some. I was pretty sure I had some leftover parchment paper for my wet palette somewhere, but I cannot find it, of course. Oh, yeah, there it is. And yeah, so I've been doing well, and we'll talk about this, but I've been doing a lot of silver bayonet, and so I'm just keep on painting what I need for the next scenario, and the next, and the next, and the next, and the next, and so on. So yeah. And today, those are banditos. Well, actually, it's funny that you say banditos, because there's actually so it before they came out with the actual bandit for the silver bayonet, they were selling a kit as potential miniatures that you could use as bandits, and those were for what is it? Something and Tomahawk? Musket and Tomahawk?
Musket and Tomahawk, yeah.
Yep. And it was the Spanish Guerrilla. So I had 5 Spanish Guerrilla, and then I have 5, let's just say, proper bandits for the silver bayonet. I do like most of them. I really like the bandits one, they're really cool, and I really like the guerrilla one. And the problem is, when you play solo, there is actually more than what they provided in the thing.
Right.
So this is where I'm at right now, is I'm just gonna actually do all 10 of them, and like this I can have like, if I'm missing some, I should not get to the point where I'm missing some. That's what I want to say. Like, I should be fine. And so that's kind of where I'm at now. Usually they take quite a while to paint. Like, I don't, yeah, there's no way I'm gonna paint all 10 of them. So let me just try to do 2 of them today, and I'll be pretty happy if I do. And then I'll keep going, do the rest, and yeah, we should be fine. Alright, let's do the shoutouts. You don't have that many. What happened?
No, I didn't find that many on Insta, this guy. So, I mean, there's a couple on yours who have Insta accounts who I've missed for some reason. So, I mean, if I miss the people who are on both on Insta, I normally get them on Twitter anyway.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Which is usually the case. All right, go for it.
So we have Ordo.scriptus, who had 200 days. We had Fire Ruffles, who had 600 days. And we've got Shurpaderpa on 100 days. So, congratulations to you guys on hitting those milestones.
All right.
I did see a few people as well who have come back after breaking.
Yeah,
or
well,
skipping their streak. So
you often have a lot of breaks, like during the summer, because people will take some vacations or days off or something, and then they and this is why, well, we'll get to it, but yeah, we talked about, you know, taking stuff with you to go if you go into if you travel, if you go into any conventions, if you go to a hotel, if you go to any like you went to your remember you went to your karate thing. Yeah. And so yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, So I think a lot of people, they just don't plan for doing any hobby during their vacation, and so they just stop the streak and then they'll start again.
Yeah.
Or life, which also often happens. I mean, I did some stuff when I had COVID, but yeah. Well, I don't know if I had COVID, but my daughter tested positive. My son tested negative. My wife tested negative. But at the beginning, so we don't know if it was just maybe a little bit early. And then I got super sick, coughing and everything. So I'm like, yeah, probably. It would be surprising that we caught something else while my daughter got COVID. Like that would be weird. Anyways, so I have Avellion on 100 days, Damian Chenot on 700 days. He got a laser cutter. I don't know if you saw on Twitter.
Yeah, he did.
Fuck. I'm like, damn it, dude. I'm like, I want one. So yeah, I think the one that he's got is really cool. I was looking at a Creality, I think was the one I was looking for. But it's not as good as far as like the depth that you can cut with. So I don't know if that's gonna be a. But yeah, I'm still looking into it. It's definitely something that I wanna maybe tackle one of these days. Anyways, Woffy on 100 days. Lemas Taco on 400 days. Pain Satisfaction on 200 days. Nathan Allen Ballard on 4 years. That's pretty impressive. He's one of those in between. Because there's like some people that are like you. I think he's close to. He's like 6 months behind you or something like that. I think, yeah. Then I've got Suarez Lucas, brand new to the streak. He just posted his 1 day very recently. So that was. Oh, and I'm sorry about Doggy in the background. So that was pretty cool to see someone new coming in, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna give this a try. So, welcome. Rogueblather, 500 days. Palscha, 300 days. Sam, which is Crust Monster, on 500 days. And Jojo Miniatures on 200 days. And so, yeah. Everybody again, congrats. And hope you enjoyed the streak. And
keep it up.
Hope you're gonna enjoy the journey. And hope we'll see your score again in 100 days or so, when you're gonna get your next milestone. Alright, well, so what have you done in the past 2 weeks, except getting ready for your event? What else have you done?
So I finished the Vigilers that I started in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all done. They're all packed away, ready for the day that I decide to take them out. I built and painted Gavril Shawhart last week. So, yeah, one and done. Tuesday night. Did a character. It's always a good challenge to do. And, yeah. Mostly done on these 10 Liberators that I'm going to at least get to the point where I've only got one highlight left to do today. And yeah, there's a quiet week at club the other week. Nobody wanted a game with me, so I brought some hobby down to club, sat in a corner, and built 10 Stormcast Vanquishers. They're a kit that I'm looking forward to painting because they look really cool. They've got big two-handed swords.
Alright.
And I do like units of great swords. So that was my 2 weeks.
Alright.
It doesn't look like a lot, but when you realise that there's like 2 10-man units in there.
Yeah, no, and this is why it's that goes. Yeah, it like I said, like those guys. I got 10 dudes right now. This is gonna take a while.
It's not even 2 10-man units. It's 2 5-man units from the same box.
Yeah.
Twice. Which is what I'm doing with these Liberators.
Mm-hmm.
So one's a green squad, one's a red squad.
No, and that's why it can take some. It'll take time for sure. Huh. I don't know if that's his pants or his butt. Is it his shirt? I don't know, it's so weird. Oh no, I see, okay. Yeah, cool. Again, yeah, people, just enjoy, and yeah, if you have a big project to do, the hobby streak is a good way to get through that. And get those sorted. Alright, well, I finished the goblins that I started last podcast. So, pretty happy how they turned out. And yeah, so after I did this, I have not played yet the scenario where I need the goblins. So I'm still a little bit behind on my play compared to what I'm painting, which is good because then the bandits I'm gonna need, and after that, so that's gonna take a while. Alright, my doggy is barking. I'm sorry. What's wrong with doggy? So I did that, and all my bandits and stuff are on resin basis, which is I've just print the same basis over and over again. Now I started watching Obi-Wan Kenobi, the TV show, and I really like the stormtrooper in that show that looks super grungy, and especially in episode 3. So I decided to strip my stormtroopers and repaint them properly, and with looking all grungy and nasty and dirty and stuff. So I started on that, and I don't know what primer I use. I think it was a Radokan, but that stuff would not come out. To the point where I broke my cleaner.
Oh.
I broke my sonic cleaner. I don't know what happened. Like, I really don't know. It was working. I kept, like, every time I was walking by, I basically just, like, every time I was coming in, walking by, I'm like, oh, hey, there you go. Just let me put it again for like 8 minutes to go. And at what point I came in and I was like, why is the light not on, saying that it's, yeah, and it's not working anymore. So I need to see if it was just because it was hot or something. I have not tried to plug it back in, so I'll definitely need to check on that and and see what see what's up with it, because I'm like, that would suck. But finally I got it. I got them stripped, so I will eventually decide. Well, I will paint them once I'm done, or well, if I want to do something else, I'll probably get them painted. I printed the Paint Pal by Corvus Game Terrain, which is, I've talked about him, Steve, a lot on this podcast. I really like his terrain. I've got some of his stuff printed, some of his stuff, like the construction site was from him and stuff like that. And that was one of his Kickstarter that he did a while back for transporting your paint accessories while you go on travel. And so since I'm gonna go on travel, I decided to go ahead and print it. So yeah. And it took me a while to decide because there were so many parts, and I think I've settled on what I want, which is one layer with the brushes, one layer with a wet palette. So that's gonna be good because that means I don't have to take my big one. It's gonna be a small wet palette. And the last thing that I printed was a storage. So it's a storage that yeah, I want to be able to use. And cause the paints, I'm gonna have to put them in my check-in luggage, because I don't want them to just be like, you've got more than 3 ounce blah blah blah, everything goes to the trash. Yeah, that would suck. So I'm like, yeah, no. We'll definitely need to just put that in a Ziploc bag, double bagged and all this into the check-in. But I want to take the minis with me, which are gonna have to be not metal minis. I was thinking about that last time. I'm like, oh, if I take metal minis, it's gonna be the same. It's gonna be like, okay, so you got a giant metal thing. And they're gonna, you know, like they're gonna make issues, I'm sure. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna print like a little storage thing so I can put them in there with some maybe bubble wrap or something, and that should be enough. I'll take a few models, probably 4 or 5 models, and just take my time to paint them. So yeah, and that's about it. Like I made some measuring tools for with Pro JG on it. Yay! Branded, yeah. I made another one not branded, and then I was like, well, let me make one branded, cause why not? Excuse you?
Yeah. That'll be next door's moped.
I know. It just sounded. It just really sounded like.
So we've got to the time of the year now where it's actually warm in the UK.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, it's nice here too. Yeah.
I have to be sat next to my open window, or I sweat to death.
That did not work at all the way around it. So yeah, anyways, played some more Silver Bayonets, as I was saying before. So I'm still having fun. Did scenario 2. One of my guy almost didn't make it, but yeah, I'm having fun. It's a fun, like the solo campaign is pretty fun. So I'm having fun, and I started the next one, which because it requires. Well, it's the goblins are attacking, basically, while you're doing camp. So, I actually printed some bedrolls.
Nice.
So, I 3D printed some bedrolls, and I will use my camp, and I had made way back in the days with toilet paper and some sticks. I actually made a tent. So, like a small tent. So, I will use that as well. And that's about it. For me, I think, yeah. Oh, and lots of board games with the kids. They're on vacation now. So, they are gonna be home 2 days of the week. The rest of the time, they'll go to... it's not an after school, but similar. Well, it's their after school one day during the year, and then they do... the thing. Yeah. And yeah, that's me. That's my 2 weeks. So yeah. Alright. So there is a new segment that we do, and we call it First Look. And usually I share my screen. I won't do that this time. There is no need. The game, so it's weird. It's a first look, but the game. Alright, so Castles in the Sky is coming out, is being released by Osprey, okay?
Right.
But, actually, it is not a new game. So I'm guessing that Osprey picked it up because that is something that that you can find already. It's already a game that you can play. And I looked at the rule book, and it looks like, the rules are what they are, done by someone by himself, I'm guessing. And like the drawings and all this, they're okay, but they're not, they're not Osprey level. So my guess is Osprey picked it up and is gonna release it under their publishing. It's the same author. So yeah, and so the story is pretty fun. So what happens was, in the 1800s, Martians apparently came to Earth and invaded Earth. So they managed to come from Mars, so you can imagine that we did not have the technology to rival theirs, and we got our asses handed over. But as with I believe was War of the World, what really got them was our bugs. And so they got diseased and they all died, and then all their stuff was left behind. And one of the things that they found was the sky screw, I think they call it. And it's basically makes they basically did computers and radars and things like this right after 1940s, roughly, because they invaded in like 1880, something like that. And so they managed to use what they got from the Martian to advance humanity quite quickly. Like I said, they managed to do like what they call calculation devices, blah blah blah, computers. They managed to do like things like this that are that were beyond what we could have done at the time, basically. And one of those also is weird materials that are lighter than air, and that thing that makes basically giant ironclad ship fly. And so the whole thing is basically you've got 1800 type ships, beginning of World War I ships, giant ships that are actually flying. And that's it. And then they fight. Basically, you just go around and do naval combat, but
in the sky.
In the sky, exactly. So I thought it was a pretty cool concept. I'm definitely gonna take a look. I mean, that game you can find. I'll put the link in the Castle of the Sky, the original PDF of the original, like the original people that did the game. And yeah, so you can actually get the rules. I'm guessing the rules are gonna be different. There seem to not be that many factions, where they're saying, I think 6 factions, Osprey are saying. So they definitely increased the faction numbers and all these things. So yeah, it's I thought it was super interesting. And yeah, I have not played a lot of ship or battleship or any like kind of games like this. I know you played Aeronautica Imperialis, right?
Yeah.
So
Sails of Glory.
Yeah.
Good one as well.
Yeah, so you've got more experience. Definitely, like something like X-Wing is definitely something that I would like to check out. I know I've seen a couple of battle report for 1,000 Suns, which is weird the way they do, but looks pretty cool. So that's definitely also like something else that it I know a lot of people don't like naval combat, so I thought that was a good way of maybe getting more into naval combat by having some kind of weird history thing. So yeah. So anyways, Castle in the Skies, keep an eye out for it. Like I said, Osprey will be releasing the thing soon. I do not have an exact date, I don't remember, and for some reason my document is all screwed up, of course, because reasons. So anyways, so yeah, so that was my my first look. So yeah, I don't know if you had time to take a look at it or not.
No,
but...
I've been painting
yeah.
my bloody little heart out all day.
So yeah, so again, coming out, you know, if it's, this is the thing, and I don't know if it's, well, it is, like I was gonna say, I don't know if it's a sign of it being good, but I mean, if Osprey picks up a game,
yeah,
that's pretty much freaking indie as hell before that, then my guess is the set of rules is pretty sound. The modification they've done made it a really good game, and you know, like when you consider that they do, well, the Silver Bayonet, Frostgrave, Stargrave, Zona Alpha, Gaslands, Lion Rampant. Like, they do a lot of, like, really good set of rules. So, yeah, you know, if you're published by Osprey, you're pretty much set.
Yeah.
So, again, if you want to pick it up, I would say it's a safe bet. Go take a look at the original and realize that the new one is probably going to have whatever is wrong with that game that you can find. Osprey will have fixed it. Like, they would have been with the guy going back and forth and be like, hey, you need to change this, you need to amend this, and you need to improve this and this because the gameplay is not this or whatever. So yeah, again, Castle in the Sky, and I will definitely let you know once it is out. And yeah, for some reason my thing just doesn't want to work anymore. Alright, anyways, we ran a poll this week, well, 2 weeks ago, started early, about bases. So we've done a previous episode on bases. I don't remember what we were talking about on bases at that time. Was it for something specific? I don't, yeah, it escapes me. But anyways, so this time around we were talking about the order in which you prepare your mini and bases. So, for example, my goblins were put temporary bases, painted, then I printed the bases, primed those bases, and then pin the goblin to the base, and then and then I actually painted the base and finished the mini, basically. Now, those guys, which I'm painting today, my little bandits, I actually pinned them directly to the bases and then primed the whole thing. And so it was kind of like, yeah, how are people usually doing it? And it came out that most of the people, they will basically do the second one that I just talked about, which is put their mini on the base, and then start putting your texture bits and like preparing the base, and then paint the whole thing. Well, prime the whole thing and then paint the whole thing. So, yep. This is something that, for example, for Marvel, usually they come with their own, like they come with the base. So when you put them together, you're kind of you kind of have to put the base onto the mini. And well, you kind of had to put them together already from the start, which is, and then you prime everything together. So I don't know what you usually do. How do you usually go by?
I normally glue the whole mini to the base, then prime it, then paint the mini, then do the base.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like what most people will do. And again, like it's I had the issue with my goblins was that my base were not ready. And I really needed to, like, I wanted to print, like I needed to print the bases, and I didn't have anything to print them with, because my I think I was out of resin at the time, so I didn't have anything that I could use to print. I could have put them, like I could have done a base, like a regular base, but yeah, no. I really wanted to continue so that they all look the same. And I think that that's also one thing, is sometimes you see people will create like they'll make 30 bases because they need 30 bases, and so they'll make all of them.
Yeah. And
then they will put the guys on them. But I've seen a lot of people on and especially like sorry. And I just spilled contrast paint. Yay! Oh, god damn it. I'm sorry. Oh, jeez. Come on. Yep. Draco's flesh is all over my table.
Leave your commiserations for JG's Dark Oath Flesh pot in the comments.
Son of a gun. I need a big brush.
We salute the fallen.
Alright. So I've seen a lot of people, while I soak as much as I can back into the bottle, I've seen a lot of people that actually will do, so they'll create their bases, and then they'll just actually already paint and all this their base, and have, like I said, like 30 bases that all look the same.
Yeah.
And for armies especially, I've seen one that did, I think, for what's it called, for Legion, and so all the bases look the same and everything, and they were super cool. And then he painted all the guys separate, not on temporary base, or just on nothing, basically just held up on a stick or something like that. And then once that's done, then they just like put them onto the base. Now people are saying, like issues, you can have issues with the mini not sticking because you already have a layer of paint on the base instead of plastic to plastic. Well, unless you're using cement, plastic cement, I don't see really the problem. I don't know if you had any issues with that happening to you, but
the only issues I've had with bases is these ones. So I bought some scenic bases and I painted them all up as a batch.
Okay.
And then gluing the models to that was you super gluing the bottom of a plastic model to the paint on top of the base. So they snapped off quite easily.
Yeah,
so I had to go back later and pin them.
Well, and this is the thing, and I think that unless you're doing, and I don't see it being an issue with the base that I've done. Yes, the base were primed, and I put the guy that were already painted on them, but I pinned them all.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, yeah, if you're putting straight on to the base, then I can see it being an issue. But if you're looking at, like pinning everything, then I just don't see it being a problem at all. Like, really.
You'll be fine.
Yeah. For sure. But yeah, so yeah, fuck. Well, that was interesting. Dumbass. God damn it. So yeah, now 3D. I think 3D printing base also is. It's kind of like it'll also makes it. It's different because like if I was doing you know, like texture, like I have the Valero Earth texture or something similar, then I don't think I would wait, you know. Like I would definitely put the mini on the base, and then I would. And so this is the thing. I don't know if I would. I probably would prime it fully and then put the texture.
Yeah.
Because I usually do. Yeah, and I've seen some people that they prime their texture, and I don't. I think both ways work. Like you can prime your texture, or like I usually just put the texture and then put paint on it directly. Like, and some people, I mean, if you wanted to even leave the earth texture from Vallejo or some others, sometimes you know that's the color you're looking for, and you don't even have to modify anything. So to color it or do anything like this. But I mean, you will always do like dry brush and things like this, I guess, to get the texture to show up a little bit better. But yeah, it's a process, but it was interesting to see like how people do it, and I think there is a consensus to just do it, assemble everything before you prime. And I'm pretty sure that the people that will not do that are the same people that have, you know, that will do sub-assemblies for everything. That will have like 20 different sub-assemblies.
Yeah. And
so, yeah, it's, again, it was super interesting to see.
Yeah, and I mean, we're not saying you're wrong for doing it the way that we don't. Just to put that out there.
And again, like
it's just interesting to see how other people do it.
And it's like I said, you know, if you have a base and you do texture, then probably there is, you know, there is a flow that you like, and there is a process that you like from, you know, like, oh, let me just assemble everything, prime, put the texture, then do blah blah blah. Sometimes some other people will do the texture, prime, and so on. Now, resin, 3D printed resin base, they're already done. Like there is nothing else to do. So you can definitely do those on the side. Now, I remember doing some cobblestone base, and those were easier to make outside. Like, you know, like because you could airbrush them. I could airbrush them, do the dark, and then just airbrush from the side to do the highlights, and they look like cobblestone, and that was it. They were done, and I didn't have to worry about, you know, like trying to do that while the mini was on the base. So again, like if you texture your base, you can do the same. Mine was 3D printed, but you could do the same with a roller, and you might have like some cobblestone or something like this, and be like, yeah, I'm gonna paint those separate because I will not get the same effect if I try to paint them while the mini is on top of it. And so, and I think that it depends. It's a case by case kind of thing. And yeah. So of course everybody's doing it wrong. We know best. But no, like you were saying, you know, it depends on the people, and it depends on the thing, on what you're doing and what you want to do. And yeah, if you're doing big armies, again, like some people, they just want to get done with all the bases, and they're just gonna do all the bases and be done. And then once they're done with the base and they're happy, and then they'll just paint their stuff and keep going. So
yeah, I mean the point of us having these conversations is that so that people can find other ways of doing stuff, because
they might have not thought about. Yeah,
you only know the way that you've been shown how to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And what works for somebody else might not work for you. So it's important.
Mileage may vary.
It's important to find out several different ways of doing things that lead to the same result.
Yeah. Oh my god, this guy is gonna be a pain to do his... Yep. I don't know. I'm gonna need my glasses to do this. Getting old sucks. But yeah, alright, well. So yeah, so it was quite interesting. So yeah, 70% of the people, I believe from what we had, they were just doing it, you know, they were just going and getting the basically assemble everything before priming. Now some people were saying, well, I'm assemble everything but I'm priming, but then I'm putting the details on the base and everything, so that is as like again like a different process.
Yeah.
Now the one that was not done by a lot of people was priming the base, priming the model, and then assembling them, which I think, yeah, it's kind of like doubling the effort in a way. I don't think it makes a lot of sense, because, you know, you're like, well, you might as well just assemble everything and then prime. If you're gonna assemble, you know, don't prime and then assemble. There's no point. So yeah. So yeah, cool. All right. Well, so let's talk about the news. Look at that. We're just flying through.
Zooming.
Well, like I told Mr. Liam before, I do not have a lot of time today, so hopefully we can have a nice hour and a half would be good. Yeah, we might actually have a small one for once, short one. Woohoo!
What did I leave you out for?
Alright, do you want me to go or you want to go?
I'll let you go for a minute.
Alright, well, so Castle in the Sky was also in my news. Like I said, gonna be released soon, so keep an eye on for that. Now, I was reading about Zombicide. Now, if you had followed us, I talked about Zombicide Marvel, which came in with a giant, what's his name?
Galactus.
Galactus, yeah. Galactus zombie version, not zombie version, that was like 3 foot tall and just like the weirdest thing possible.
That was like one of our first episodes. So that was...
Yeah, because that was a while back. So they've opened the
Back again?
No, the manager. The
Pledge Manager.
Pledge Manager, thank you. So they've opened the Pledge Manager.
So back again.
And everybody went, what? Literally, because they realized that the shipping cost was about 60% of the cost of the game.
Oof.
Yeah, like 60% of the total cost. Like, this is freaking nuts. Like, and I understand that they have a giant, you know, like the box is probably huge. And, you know, because there is so much stuff in it, and especially if you're getting the Galactus, it's huge. But, like a lot of people were saying, they think that they did not realize how bad it was going to be as far as shipping cost. And so, yeah. It's one of those where there's a lot of things that, especially on Kickstarter now, the Kickstarter are not as, like, there's not as many big projects as there used to be before the whole pandemic and before the whole Ukraine thing and all the stuff just...
Well, I was going to say, JG, as somebody who has to deal with this sort of thing on a regular basis, What would you say the state of the global shipping economy is at the moment?
Well, it's well, this is so. It does not matter. People will still need to ship stuff.
Yep.
So that's just a given. And this is why, like like people are complaining and everything, blah blah blah, and you're like, yeah, you're right, but it does not matter. Because you can complain as much as you want, you're still gonna have to ship your stuff. And when you do, that's when pricing starts being a real big issue. And it's basically stuff have doubled or tripled or quadrupled depending on what you're using, if you're going air or ocean or things like this. And some stuff is just crazy. Now, most of those Kickstarter and stuff like that, the big issue is it's going by ocean. And places like China, every time there is a case of COVID on a dock, for example, they close the dock completely. So then they don't ship stuff out. And if they don't ship stuff out, then containers are staying in port. And if containers are staying in port, well, then there is a shortage on the other side, and so on and so forth. And so now, before, if you wanted a 20-foot container, roughly $2,000 to get it across the ocean from China to the US. That's $2,000. That's not bad for like a full 20-foot container. Now, today, if you want the same 20-foot container, it's probably going to cost you $10,000, $12,000. So all of a sudden, when you divide this by the number of boxes that are inside that container, yeah, your cost is a lot more expensive. Now, the problem is, it arrives in the US or in Europe, and then there is another problem. Sometimes it gets stuck outside of the port in the ocean, waiting for space on the dock. Because again, shortages of people in the dock and so on. And there was a big issues in like Los Angeles, for example. So then you have that problem. Then once it gets through, then you have the problem of transporting it to its final location. And again, I know that UK had issues with trucking. A lot of truckers. Like you couldn't find a freaking truck to move pretty much anything. And so that was a big issue.
Oh, we knew where all the trucks were. They were in a queue.
Yeah, well, yeah, you had that, but also like, just finding a truck was a big deal. Like, was a really big issue, was finding a truck. And it's still the case in the US. You still have sometimes, like it's not easy to find a truck. So yeah, all this just makes it so that, yeah, if you want to do a Kickstarter, not a good idea right now. You're just better off. You're better off doing a set of rules that you can just sell by itself, and that's probably your best bet today. That's probably your best bet. It's something, or like do something, but make sure that like a tiny epic dungeon or whatever. Their cost is probably super small because their boxes are tiny. And so when they do any tiny epic something, you pay $20, but the box itself for shipping, you're gonna put, like probably 10 times as many boxes that, a game like Zombicide would put in a container. So all of a sudden, that increase is spread across a lot more boxes and so on and so forth. But yeah, so not a good time to do this, and that's clearly like an example. I mean, I'm waiting on Frost Heaven. I don't know if you know what that is.
Not a clue.
Do you know Gloomhaven?
Ah, Gloomhaven,
Yup.
but cold.
Well, Frostheaven is the basically sequel to Gloomhaven. It's coming in a very big box. And, you know, it's... yeah. I don't know how they're gonna manage that shipping, because it's gonna be also pretty... I don't know if he's gonna lose money on this. I don't think so. But I'm pretty sure that the cost of and what he had scheduled for is gonna be quite different. But yeah. So anyways, yeah. So Zombicide, yeah, people are getting upset, and understandably so. So we'll see how that goes. Now, AMG are gonna do another mini extravaganza. And so what happened is, during 3 days, they basically show up a lot of things. The first one they did was only Marvel Crisis Protocol, because that was all they had. Now they do the last one they did before, like the second one, I think this one is the third one. The second one was Star Wars Legion, Star Wars X-Wing, and Armada. And, of course, Marvel Crisis Protocol. And this one, it looks like it's gonna be Legion, X-Wings, and Marvel Crisis Protocol. That's pretty much it. So, they will have Star Wars Legion, Hive of scum and villainy. So that is because they're doing, well, they've shown some of it already, which is gonna be, well, which is the second one that they're doing, which is This Is the Way to Paint, which they're gonna paint The Mandalorian and Grogu, which are coming out. They already revealed the thing. The Hive and Scum and Villainy, they're releasing some of the Syndicate. So they've done a lot of the Syndicate. They might just, you know, put some new models out there, or show some new models out there. Not exactly sure, but yeah. Then they will do Sound and Fury, which painting Nick Fury, which is from Marvel Crisis Protocol, come out with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with it. Then X-Wing, Battle of Yavin and Beyond. I think that's come out with one of the things they just released for X-Wing. Again, I'm not that you know, up to date with X-Wing. Stay on Target, X-Wing gameplay. I think they're showing some of the new rules. It's not a 3.0, it's like a 2.1. They've just modified a little bit some of the rules and stuff. So Rapid Reinforcement, customize your Armada fleet. Oh, so you see Armada is still in there. They're not releasing any new stuff for it, but they're still providing some, you know, new... They've done some new organized play for it and everything. They're still supporting it without releasing any new stuff. Hobby Hangout with Star Wars Ewok. So the Ewoks have been also shown in... there was a Star Wars Celebration.
Oh, yes.
Recently. So they've shown Ewoks and Mandalorian with Grogu. And so, yeah. So those are pretty cool. Then, Marvel Crisis Protocol, from Earth to Asgard. So, maybe some new Asgardian. They haven't released anything new for Asgard in quite a while. So, I'm guessing maybe the new Thor movie that's coming out.
Yep. So, hey guys, there's a new Thor movie out. Let's
release
something at the same time.
Let's release Thor, but the female version of Thor. Here we go. We've all seen the trailer. So yeah, that's pretty sure that's what they're gonna do. The Need for Speed Star Wars Legion Legion hobbying. So that one I'm not sure if they're gonna release pod racers. I would be surprised.
It'll be a speeder of some sort they'll be painting up for that, won't it?
Well, I don't know, because like they say, the Need for Speed, which is, you know, like gonna be, are they gonna do, some people at, well, so they've announced at the beginning of when they took over Star Wars that they will eventually come out with a game, like a new game. People are talking about a Gasland type pod racing game, or a skirmish version of Legion, which I hope not, because that's gonna cost me a fortune. Because that's why I don't like Legion, is because it's not, like, there's too many models.
Yeah.
But if they do a small 10 models maximum type of things, and I'm like, oh god, no, that would be bad. And if they use the same, like they could use the same range that they use for Legion. Like, it's not, like, there's already many characters that they could use for that. Anyways, so I don't know what that one will be. Legion hobbying, so they might be painting again, like something they've announced previously. Not sure. Outer Rim Showdown, Star Wars Legion gameplay. So the Outer Rim, they might do again like Syndicate and stuff like that. Maybe. Shields Up, painting Earth Protectors. So those are gonna be, I'm guessing, the Agents of Shields and some other similar characters. They might be showing up some new Shields agent. I don't know. They might, you know, like announce what's her name. It's always the same, like the lady agent that actually has a name and not just agent. Which is in also when you play. There's a board game, Legendary. She's always, like, she's the one that you can always get, and it's a 2-card and blah blah. Anyways, so I don't know what they're gonna do with that. Spare parts, creating an X-wing diorama. So that one looks pretty cool. Just something something fun. Then mad scientist and crime lords, giving your Marvel Crisis Protocol villain a distinct look. So I'm guessing those are gonna be just like painting again and stuff that you can do. Program for destruction, painting battle droids. So that's gonna be also pretty cool, because I know they're pretty good at painting. So they have some nice tricks. Asgardian in action, Marvel Crisis Protocol gameplay. So I'm guessing with whatever new characters they've announced for Asgard. Full of surprise, a Star Wars stream, so they might just announce new stuff there. Maybe a game, I don't know. That would be fun. Customs clone color, so X-Wing community repaint, so they might just show like what people have done, repainting their X-Wing, because I know a lot of people do. A superhero best friend, painting animals, and that one is weird, because right now the only animal that I know of in the whole thing is this dude.
Yeah,
is the Inhuman Lockjaw. That's the only animals that I know, unless we have something that's going to be released with Squirrel Girl. And then
as we all know, Squirrel Girl, the most powerful character in the Marvel Universe.
Exactly. So yeah, and like even Ant-Man and stuff, they don't even have like any animals. So I don't know. Maybe they're gonna announce something with animals. So maybe, yeah, like I said, yeah, Earth Defender. Maybe she's gonna be announcing in the Earth Defender, and then at the end painting some of the squirrels. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, June 9, June 11. So by the time you're watching this, maybe some of the days might have gone by, or maybe all of it, depending on when I can do all.
And then, like last time, we'll have a recap episode, and we'll see how much you got right.
How much I got wrong. Yeah. Well, no, yeah. How much I got right may actually be a lot quicker. But yeah, we'll see what they say. Anyways, that is it for me.
Cool. Just let me straighten my t-shirt.
I heard there was heresy. Nice.
So today we got the roadmap for Warhammer the Horus Heresy for the rest of the year.
Cool.
So we got that in the show notes document. So we know the book, the box set, and the two Space Marine books are coming out this month because they're on pre-order already and stuff. So they've got big arrow down one side going new miniatures. They've got silhouettes on there, but as people have asked on Twitter, those aren't like silhouettes of anything specific. They're just, we're bringing more models out and we needed to put a picture there sort of silhouettes. So we've got downloadable PDFs coming every month.
Okay.
So those will be like the ones we had prior to the announcement. There'll be the exemplary battles things. They'll be updating the previous exemplary battles PDFs so that they're, good for the current edition, the new edition.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And they're also saying that there will be get you by rules books for the factions that aren't covered in the main Liber books. And there's going to be like a little PDF for stuff that is no longer in the main Liber books, which is where I am going to find a lot of stuff, I think, for my my Iron Warriors Ironfire army. So I don't think Legion Basilisks and Minotaurs are going to be in there, so that's going to be for me. So yeah, PDF every month. In August, we're getting the Liber Mechanicum, which is the army list for the Legio Mechanicum, the Martians and their crazy death robots, and Titans and Knights, I believe they
Martians?
said.
What do you mean Martians? There's Martians in Horus Heresy?
Yeah, Mars in the 40k setting is the home of the Mechanicum, and they're the people who worship machines. So
yeah.
they live on Mars, so they're Martians.
I didn't know they lived on Mars. Okay, cool.
Awesome. So that's that.
Learn something new every day.
Well, there are forge worlds across the galaxy. Mars is the main one.
Okay.
And then in October we've got the Liber Imperium, which is probably going to be things like the Talons of the Emperor, Legio Custodes, Sisters of Silence, Imperial Army, Solar Auxilia, that sort of stuff. And there's a big asterisk with dates correct at the time of publication at the bottom there. So if the container gets stuck, then it's not Games Workshop's fault. So that's that. We've then got a new League of Votan model.
Oh, is that the squad
robots?
Cool.
So that is a squat that is a robot. So that's robot the whole way through. It's interesting because that shares a lot of design cues with the Castellan robot from the Mechanicum range.
Oh, is that the weird looking what was it called? The one where you were the video game where you were in the ocean, like the horror movie type. Don't remember. It'll come to me one day.
No. And there was another leak over the weekend. So Warhammer community reacted to that by releasing proper photos of all the models that got leaked. So
again, like intentional leak or just like, oh shit.
Who who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
The fact that they put an article out is maybe. So we've got
to hype it up, maybe a little bit. Yeah.
Ursula Creed, the daughter of Uskar Creed, who was the commander of Cadia at the fall of Cadia, and is now currently an exhibit in some Necrons museum somewhere. So his daughter has taken over. She looks like the proverbial brick shithouse, so don't mess with her. She's got all of her dad's war gear and her dad's coat.
Oh, yeah, okay, yep.
She's not to be messed with.
She's the lady in Matilda, no?
Yeah, that's what a lot of people have been saying online.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Because that's what I like.
She looks like the head teacher from Matilda.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I've
Miss
seen her before.
Trunchbull. There we go. I remembered.
Yeah.
But
okay, so I'm not the only one. Okay,
no.
cool.
But the great coat she's wearing over her flak armor is all battered and got holes in it, and she
looks mean.
She's been through the wars,
sure.
as it were.
She looks pretty mean.
Yeah, and you know how I was saying before Warhammer Fest, we might be getting new stormtroopers, Kazakin.
Yep.
Well, here's the new Kazakin.
Okay.
I'm slightly amused by the fact that they don't seem to have done anything to this guy's base.
I've seen that on Twitter, where they were like, "That's all that's left of his planet" or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, yeah.
I think they've painted the top of the base grey. Doesn't look like it's the same black as the rest of the base, but.
Yeah, and the way the picture is taken, I'm pretty sure they were not expecting it to release it so early, and the guy was still working on the base. There you go, another example of you need to do your best.
And then they've got a reimagining and redesign of the Sentinel kit, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
I'm so far a fan from the pictures. Just updates it. So it's not a 20-year-old kit, and all the pieces that should actually go together properly.
Okay, cool.
That's that. Apart from that, I didn't really see anything else. That was like super duper duper worth mentioning.
All right. Well.
Although, currently can't order the Horus Heresy rulebook separately.
Yeah, I saw that you were talking about.
That's weird.
Okay. Why do you think that is?
I'm going to go ahead and make a giant assumption.
Bold prediction assumption. Okay.
And say that they only had enough printed to fit in the boxes, and the rest of them are on a boat somewhere that's being
stuck in a port somewhere. Yep.
Pulled by a pedalo or something.
Yep. That's pretty much.
I'm guessing that because I was sat at a club on Sunday. Finished my game, was scrolling, waiting for the pre-order article to go up, and
it never did.
This week, well, it did. This week's pre-order article was, oh, by the way, all this stuff that was on pre-order last week from the Horus Heresy is still on pre-order, and here's some toys coming soon. And I was like, cool. So you're not going to be selling the rulebook separately.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that the box is actually pretty good value.
Oh, absolutely.
It might be is it a loss? Whatever.
It's absolutely a loss leader.
Yeah.
So it's like £180, and
it's $300, but they're like worth, I don't know, probably $500 worth of
something like that.
Freaking models in there. It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah. So
again, we're not saying they're gonna lose money. We're just saying they're not gonna make that much on those.
No,
But they'll make it
the
on
box
the
is to get you into the game, and then you're going to spend
on the Titan or whatever the name of the thing is. Yeah. That giant robot thing.
The Leviathan Dreadnoughts, the Dreadnoughts, so, well, if they can get you to buy a Titan, they're quids in. Because those are expensive.
But yeah, it looks like
Yeah, so I've ordered the new Kratos battle tank. I got the Liber Hereticus because I played 2 Traitor Legions, and ordered a map because they had a map up as well. So as things stand, next Saturday when those all release, I won't have the rulebook, so I'll have an army list, no main rulebook.
Huh? Yeah, that's kind of weird, dude.
Yep. Nobody else I know is buying. Well, nobody else I play Heresy with currently is buying the box. Is buying the box. I think there's some people at club who might be getting into it.
It's for people getting into it. Yeah, it's not for people that already have stuff. Like if it was like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna get into a Horus Heresy, I'll buy the box. But yeah, if you already are like you already have pretty much your armies and everything, there is no, unless you want brand new models, there is no need or reason that you would just do that. So yeah. But again, like if people want to get into the Horus Heresy, definitely looks like this box is just quite a catch.
Mm. Like, it's definitely the way to go.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, you know what? I just figured out something for my guys. Oh, this is gonna be awesome. Do they all have something similar? That I can use. I can use his top. I want to use like one piece of clothing that's gonna be the same color on all the guys. Some of them have a weird belt, which is gonna be terracotta on all of them, and the ones that have the bandanas, their bandanas are gonna be terracotta. And this guy doesn't have, so he's got. Yep, no, he's got it. Okay, cool, awesome. I'm really happy. I found something I can do. Yay!
Cool.
So yeah,
that sounds like it.
Yeah, how are you guys? How are your paintings doing then?
So I have
how did it go?
Finished today? Tidying up all the blue on all my guys. Put some shade on the base paint for the guys and the Vexilla. And I've just done the little bits on the base rim where the painting handle was holding him. So I am ready now to do the gold highlights on the troops and the base rims on the troops, and then I can varnish the whole lot, and that'll be yesterday's job. That'll be yesterday's job. I'll get that done yesterday. It'll be fine. That'll be tomorrow's job. And yeah, then I'll have Thursday to just chill out and paint something at my own pace without having to rush it for the event.
For a change.
Well, I normally don't rush for events. I've normally got everything painted before.
Yeah, I know
You
usually have everything.
This is the closest to an event I've been painting something for said event.
I've seen what. There was a guy and he was like preparing for an event, and he was literally painting stuff out like in the back of his car.
Yep.
Before the event.
Yep.
And I saw the picture and I was like, oh, this is so funny.
Yeah, one of the guys going to the event
last minute kind of thing,
responded to my tweet going, oops, I've got the wrong Vexilla painted already, I need to paint another one. And he was like, oh, I've only just primed my whole army for the weekend. And I'm like, my dude.
Shit, dude.
My dude. I don't know what you're paying, but I hope it's not that many models, because otherwise you're going to be not sleeping.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, you're going to be painting all night, dude. Holy moly.
Yeah, so let's just hold this guy up to the camera so we can have a look. him. So he's got his pennant of the Stormbringer.
Okay, cool.
So that's a magic flag that lets me teleport a unit once per game.
Nice.
And all my guys down here, they're not finished highlighting the gold yet. But this is they. And that's what we're up to. That's what we've done today.
Alright, cool.
How are the banditos?
Well, I've got one that's pretty much painted, and one that I basically started. I blocked a few colors. This guy, I don't. This time I'm putting my.
How's the puddle?
Contrast. Oh, it's gone. No, I soaked most of it. I would say like 80% with. Usually that's what I do. I take a. Where is the giant freaking brush? I got like a massive fat, you see, like something like this.
Yeah.
And I just like soak, put back, soak, put back, soak, put back, and then I was just like, try to get as much paint as I can off the brush, and pretty much it. Now, so I got this guy, which I just redid a little bit, his ginormous mustache. Like more than, like the giant mutton freaking thing on the face. And this guy looks like kind of a weird Davy Crockett kind of dude. So yeah, really happy with this guy. It turned out. Probably a couple of washes on the browns, and on the blue I'll probably do I got a purple wash that works really well. Drushi Violet.
Yes.
Yep. That one works really well for on blues also. Yeah, it works really well on blues, so I usually use it on the blues.
Yeah.
And then Agrax and others similar, sepia maybe for some of the tone, but yeah, that's pretty much what I'm gonna do. So yeah, 1 3/4 done, and I will need another 8. And this is what I was talking about. So they have their little belt thing.
Yeah.
And so the little belt is terracotta. And the guys that don't have a belt will get their bandana thing terracotta. And so they'll have one
unifying color across the whole
exactly
set.
And I kind of like also probably the blue will be coming back as well. He's got the bandana, he's got the jacket, and they're probably gonna have like different blues things. And that's me.
That's all she wrote.
Yep, and right on time, I gonna have to run. So thank you everybody for watching us. Please find someone to subscribe to our channel so we get to 100. Come on, it's like 98 last time I checked. Come on,
or break your knees.
Come on, get us to 100. Like, just ask someone. Like, be like, hey, just subscribe to this randomly. Just don't worry about it. We don't flood people with tons of videos all the time. You're not like overwhelmed by tons of things. So yeah,
you're lucky if you get one every 2 weeks, and you'll like it.
So, anyways,
comment, like, and comment.
Thank you, everybody. Subscribe, comment. Tell your friends, and yeah, we'll see you, and you'll see us or hear us if you want to go on podcast. Same thing, podcast. Leave a couple of stars and stuff, and yeah, hope you had a good hobby streak. Keep hobbying, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Liam.
See you later.